So, interesting matchup. This is one I've never played before because, well, I've dismissed Blue-Red Second Draw because of Gates. I haven't tested with it since Gates was Rarefy banned, basically. Although Gates is still definitely a thing, just no one decides to route it, apparently.
I agree.
But it's either Control Gates or Aggro Gates is still a thing. But I'm curious to see how this matchup goes. Because Pepijn has the attraction to deal with most of what Arthur is doing.
The attraction?
The interaction.
Interaction.
Has the interaction to deal with most of what Arthur is doing except for the improbable alliances.
Well, he can Savra it off.
But Vraska, but yes.
Vraska, yeah.
Yeah. But Pepijn's value engine will go into a quick kill, and Arthur's version is not playing permission spells and very little removal spells that hit a devil.
Yeah, well,
So-
he has Dragonfire on side.
He has 1 Dragonfire in the main, 2 on side, that's true.
And I think Heartfire is as well on side.
That is possible. I would check, but I lost my iPad.
I made this deck this morning.
Okay. Well,
Arthur was like, yes, I'll join you, but I need you to make my deck.
it's funny because you gave him 16 card sideboard then.
No, he gave me the
Okay.
list.
Okay. He gave you a 16 card sideboard and you didn't pick up on it.
No. I had 7 million things to do
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
this morning.
Anyway, Trail of Crimson to Mayhem Devil. This is looking fine for Pepijn already. Gets to untap into a Evolving Wilds. That's ping number 1. Can he chain together enough pings to kill the Very Vandal? That is an important question right now.
Did he ping? No.
He's not pinged anything yet. Oh, he can absolutely ping together enough pings because that is
He
a
can
oven.
ping together
Yes,
enough pings.
yes. He has a devil, a fiend plus an oven, so he can just kill the Vandal right here.
I've actually been surprised by how relevant Footlight Fiend has been so far. Which is funny because every time I see Pepijn playing, Wouter Manhout has become our follower. That's for those of you that don't know who that is. It's the boss of Tournament Center who organizes all the big card tournaments.
Haven't you seen that their PlayMTG.eu Facebook page has shared the Invitational stream?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Okay, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
But that could have been Emma because she's the social media manager.
Yeah, it's possible that. Well, I mean, Emma was playing, wasn't she?
That's pretty cool.
It was definitely here. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's very cool. I'd show you if I'd find it, but beep beep.
Thank you very much, Wouter.
In the meantime, though, it's
Crackling
interesting how
drink.
Pepijn decided to wait until it's actually Arthur's turn to do something. Now Arthur has the Drake, and now Pepijn needs to choose, right? Do you want to kill off the Vandal, or do you want to let it grow? He will let it grow, okay. So he just really wants to...
They're pointing and poking.
So basically, Pepijn allowed the Vandal to grow. He decided not to ping it to death with all his triggers. He's just gonna ping off the bird.
That's it. Maybe he already has removal in hand. Is
He
the
does have a Spark Harvest,
Yeah.
yes. But I mean, you need both the Drake and the Vandal to die.
Yeah, I agree.
And next turn, you have... Yeah, not really enough... No, I don't know if I agree with the line here. I think I would have wanted to have killed the Vandal before it got bigger, and then untap and... Oh yeah, no, I do get it though, because if he chooses to kill the Vandal, he's not sure that he's going to be able to cast Spark Harvest to kill the Drake as well.
Well, you
so
are.
I do see
You're
his
just
line.
Not going to like it.
Oh yeah, because you have to sacrifice the devil. Yeah, fair enough. But he did find an untapped source here, so that's good for Pepijn's side of things. And boom, 4/4 Fierce Witch Stalker. By the way, this is the...
Cool.
Right? So, Fierce Witch Stalker, making a food, and is ready for an attack by 4. In my mind, Pepijn is ahead here. Not by a lot,
Mildly.
but advantage in his camp.
Yeah, if he draws statue status, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
If
If
he
he draws a cat.
any removal, it's going to be nasty.
Yep.
If he draws a cat, it's going to be nasty.
But if he draws nothing, he is empty-handed. So
Yeah, and will lose to Alliance plus Vandal with the things we see shimmering in hand for Arthur
Yep.
here.
Absolutely.
From sitting next to Kobe, I'm starting
Yeah.
to talking.
I know.
English as
My
well.
my accent while I was casting with Kobe was also different than my accent is now. It's
It's hilarious.
but I'm a sponge for accents, so I often have that.
Okay, so Fairy Vandal gets another +1/+1 off that opt. We get a token
Ooh,
as well.
that hand is stacked on Arthur's side.
Yeah,
really,
that's-
really, really stacked.
That's what I said. Like,
That is, for those of you who can't see it, it's Crackling Drake, Thrill of Possibility, Royal Scions, Beacon Bolt. Those are 4 incredibly relevant cards. Do I think Arthur's line here is probably just, for now, just play the Crackling Drake?
yeah. Well, he can keep mana open to
Grow the Vandal.
insinuate that there's interaction.
Oh,
but-
also possible. Well, they have
Oh, they
access
have
to
the
each other
deck
deck lists,
lists,
yeah. So, another Drake. Yeah, this is not looking great for Pepijn.
So Arthur, by playing
Not
the
anymore.
Drake, forgoing a free Bacon Bolt, who's playing the food deck.
Alright, let's see what Pepijn drew.
The original food deck is in the yellow box over there with the bacon hoof.
Oh, I do remember that deck. Okay, so sacrifices a food, pings off a token just to get that trigger off Trail of Crumbs. Desperation mode here. Full on desperation mode.
See, the problem with Trail of Crumbs is you can't dig for removal spells.
That's true.
That's the one weakness.
That is true. But your combo is a removal spell as well. Plus, I mean, while I agree that you can dig for removal spells, you gotta admit, it's still an incredibly strong card.
Totally agree.
Okay.
Like totally.
So, Pepijn decides his best plan of attack is just to try and apply the pressure.
Under pressure.
Which I can see. I mean, it's unlikely
I
that
mean, it's
Arthur can
working.
kill him next turn, and he is...
Hey, we have another Viking Alot for 8 months already.
Okay.
That's you're becoming the Muffin's right hand in the Viking Longhouse at that point.
For color food, add white for pacifism. How about we don't?
That's actually not ridiculous.
I was thinking... I'm theory crafting. I've not gotten there quite yet, but I'm thinking about trying to make a 4-color build that combines food and Neoform.
What?
In Neoform, you can go get your devils, and if your devil's already playing your Neoform, you get to ping more damage, and yeah.
More uncommons you need to fit into
Yes,
that shell.
I know.
I think green-white auras is the only deck that's more uncommon strained than this deck.
That's possible.
Once you start building that deck, everything you want to play is uncommon.
Yep,
Everything.
Yep, absolutely. Also, chat doesn't want me to do this.
No, Sander.
But I'm done building elementals decks. I've built Bant elementals. I've built Sultai elementals. Stop. In the meantime, though, Pepijn seems to have lost the Mayhem level to a Beacon Bolt. And is about to lose a lot of life to an attack.
The Fierce Witchstalker has trample, right?
It does. So Pepijn could find a Heartfire for the kill.
Yeah, or an extra mayhem.
Spark Harvest?
Well, he can just cast it without sacking.
Yeah. So tramples over for 3. Arthur goes to 2. Hard cast the Spark Harvest on the... Drake seems to be the biggest.
Yeah, but the fairy has more than 4 toughness. You want to force the trade with the Fierce Witchstalker next
fair.
turn.
I was just thinking that he's got him at 2. You just wait until you find your kill. What are you doing?
Isn't he just dead now?
No, he sacrifices a Fierce Witchstalker to Spark Harvest as well.
Sure, okay.
Which leaves him with 1 more food on the table. But other than that, there's no value in that play. You lose your second Witchstalker. I don't agree. Help me build non-elemental ramp.
Yeah, this was
But
pay for,
slack her.
This is pay 4 mana for 1 food.
Yes.
And this
Well, no, it's not pay 4 mana because you're paying 4 mana for the Spark Harvest if you don't sacrifice a creature. But Will and Rowan Kenrith will +2/+0 it.
Yeah, and another draw.
Oh yeah, okay.
From whatever you have in hand.
Yep.
All right.
See, that's why I think you should have killed the fairy. Wait, no,
I
I said I need to kill the Drake. I'm a dummy. So 1-0 for Arthur.
But it would have mattered. The Drake would have been lethal there as well with Thrill plus Scion.
Yeah, probably.
So
fair enough. Pepijn stumbling a little bit too much. In the meantime, Slacker, no, I don't want to help you build non-elemental ramp because the best ramp shell is the elemental shell.
But it's Slacker.
I know.
Slacker wants ramp.
I know. And that's why I built him a ramp deck. And it was an elemental shell that ramps into Laguna Band Storyteller and Kiora Best the Sea God and Elspeth Conquers Death.
What? Elspeth Conquers Death?
Yes.
Why?
Because that chapter 3 will bring back Laguna Band Storyteller, which will then put Elspeth Conquers Death on top of your library. And then you can sacrifice the Storyteller to Neoform.
Somebody sent help.
Look, that wasn't my idea. It was Slacker's idea. And I was like, yes, I will make that bullshit happen. Because you put in an elemental shell, and you're going to win games just by being an elemental shell.
Horrible. Horribulous.
The only reason why Elementals isn't as oppressive as Gates is because Elementals loses hard to food decks. Let's have a look at the sideboards. Arthur doesn't really have a lot to bring in, to be truth.
I don't have an... Oh, I wish I had a nice little overlay for this part. But we don't.
It's a great idea. Now just drop the elementals, then you can win the food against the food decks. See, I still think you can improve on your matchup against food when playing elementals by playing the elementals list Dylan and I ever find, because I feel like that is a better matchup than the non-that. Because of the blowout, just oops, I win button.
Yeah, so we've looked at these decks a bunch of times already.
Yes.
We've discussed what these decks can do, what they're good at, what their options are, what they might want to be doing. So it stays the same, really.
I think Pepijn wants to exchange his Scorching Dragonfires for Heartfires, because those hit the Drakes. And next to that, maybe want to bring in the rest, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Blue-red deck looks so food, even without the deck building restriction. I'm not sure we'd end up that far from it.
Yep. It's like I've said this before. The Invitational, blue-red spells, whatever its incarnation or iteration is, has always been one of the top dogs in Gentry, and every time it's been one of the top dogs in Gentry, people have said it's tier 2, it has been, something else is the best deck. But you put this in the hands of a decent player that knows and understands tempo and card advantage, and you're just going to get blowouts. I mean, almost no matter what you put against it, it will have game against it. There's
for sure.
Just no discussion there. Waiting for Godot. Demi Godot.
Though I do think what it's missing right now is something like Essence Scatter.
Yes. I mean, Essence Scatter pushes this firmly into tier 1 territory.
Same with Esper Control, by the way.
Yeah, but any control. But to be very fair, I'm glad we're living in a Essence Scatter-less world for a change.
Sure.
I think Essence Scatter has been in Gentry since its inception.
No. Since it was out for a long time and in Amonkhet it came in.
Really?
It only came in Amonkhet.
Well, Amonkhet means we've had it for 3.5 years.
We had it from Amonkhet all the way up to before the standard. So It was printed in Amonkhet, and it was reprinted in M19.
Yeah.
And at some point in between, it was printed as well, probably. So we've had it for a bit.
So we've had it for the entire time people have been playing Gentry seriously.
Fair point. Though, to be fair, I've actually been considering in my Esper control list, since I play for Sinister Sabotage, why not just Essence Capture?
Essence Capture. Yeah.
But blue on turn 2 is just eek.
Slacker. And play uncounterable ones if you don't like to see them countered.
You have an uncommon make everything uncounterable Destiny Spinner. It's great.
Yeah, it's the gem waiting to be discovered when the meta game shifts towards control.
Exactly. It's if the meta game ever shifts to control, I have the perfect deck to prey on them. They barzeled. Slacker seems to have gotten a stroke.
Oh, Pepijn mulliganing. Arthur is keeping his opening 7. I'm really happy that we see Arthur in the final here.
Yep.
For 2 reasons. One of them being that he started this event saying that he probably wouldn't be able to play the finals because he needs to be somewhere at 6 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that he would actually concede to let someone else play the final. But then the matches... Well, most of the matches except his first one went really quickly, and he gets to be sitting here. Yeah. That's besides the fact even that he might as well wasn't invited originally.
Right.
This is the slot that went to Glenn Janssens, who won the previous Gentry Open. So,
but Arthur couldn't be here today.
Arthur was the runner-up at this event, and there's crazy amount of history in Arthur as this casual Gentry lover.
Yep.
He was there in the final of Gentry Open 1 4.5 years ago. The event that so many people started out on. And it's just like I'm really happy that I get to see him in the Invitational because he said he really wanted to someday be in it.
Yep.
But just it never really worked out, and he doesn't really have the community visibility that allows people a slot in this event. So it's cool that he ended up in this one and now in the final and gets to actually play the final.
Yep, I completely agree. In the meantime, though, it's looking pretty rough for Pepijn, even though you might not think it from looking at the board, but that duress revealed a hand that is oof. And Pepijn's hand after that multi-6 is not the greatest. That is why Pepijn is mulliganing, dragging the game out, so he's going to win because Arthur scoops them up to go. I doubt he can stretch the match that long.
Well, that would be the biggest anti-climax
Yep.
to an Invitational ever.
At that point, I just be like, Arthur these are neutral cards anyway, I'll continue playing in your stead. That's fine. After deciding where a block is appropriate.
I mean, the block is appropriate no matter what.
Yeah, no.
Here.
Where it's appropriate.
Yeah, not on the footline feet.
Agreed.
I mean, he's thinking about whether or not he... there wasn't a land drop yet. Okay, I didn't know that. Then the block is more...
Yeah.
Will Pepijn be the first winning the Invitational twice? If he does, then he would be, yeah.
But it's not looking too likely, sadly.
Yeah, I think Pepijn won Invitational season 3 or 4 with Abzan stockpile.
Wasn't it the first Invitational?
It's possible.
I'm pretty sure Pepijn won the first Invitational,
but the first couple of seasons didn't have Invitationals.
I know.
So.
Yeah. You're saying the Invitational for season 3? Yeah. It was the first time we did the Invitational because you gave him that Flamingo trophy.
Right.
Which is still in the Outposts cupboard.
The Flamingo trophy.
On Curve Kefnet? Yep.
I think Tom is sitting in his couch downstairs grumbling over the fact that this shouldn't be a thing.
Yep.
And he's right, but in a way, this is also how Gentry is designed. That it's not always about the strongest player. I heard the exclamations from downstairs.
Yep.
But in the end, a part of how Gentry has been designed is that you get to be exciting and from time to time just win because you have a crazy rare that people can deal with. It's I mean, having the one-off rule adds this the randomness to it that to its core makes Magic a successful game.
And I think an important aspect of it, as Pepijn is just getting slaughtered, is not just that it enhances randomness, but that all of that contributes to really lessening the competitive part of the format. It inherently makes the format more equal. Even though
random.
Well, no, it's like it equalizes a difference in play skill.
Sure.
Right? If I am 3 times as good as my opponent, but my opponent draws his bomb rare, and I can't deal with it, then I will lose. And that is an inherent.
Yeah. Now there's a good point though, that since the induction of Gentry, we have seen the introduction of increasingly harder to interact with, especially mythics. Planeswalkers are a bad example because Planeswalkers, they're relatively easily to interact with, but having something that's indestructible and or shuffles itself back into your deck and or puts itself back into the deck even when it's exiled, geez Louise. It started with the Scarab Gaunt. I think that's the first one that really popped into Gentry as a slightly too hard to deal with threat.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there are answers to it. The point isn't that there's no answers. The point is that these threats are becoming more and more and more needing of very specific answers, and it's also not the same for all these threats, right? Some threats you have to answer by pacifying them. Some threats you have to answer by countering them. Some threats you have to answer by simply outracing them. It gets difficult.
In the meantime, Arthur has built a very strong board for himself and has managed to keep Pepijn in check in the meantime. Some negates and other interaction really neutered what Pepijn can bring to the table.
Okay, so with Pepijn at 11, he has 1 turn. However, a line that Pepijn could go for is to find a status statue plus a sack outlet.
Yep.
To start multiple pings. But he doesn't have a cat. Oh, he does have a cat. Okay.
He only has one of them, though.
He needs to find his status plus the oven. So he needs to have one of them in hand already. So what's going on here?
His status really better enough than Bladebrand to be there?
Pepijn thinks yes. I think neither.
Oh no, I think there's absolutely supposed to be 2 Bladebrand in any food list.
Well, that's good.
So
Pepijn gets to kill a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, kill the fairy, kill 2 fairy tokens. That's pretty nice for him.
Yeah. And unless I misunderstood, those were all blocking the Witch Stalker. So this tramples over for 2 and kills the Electromancer. And I mean, he's still facing off against the 3-turn clock with the Kefnet. But he himself has a 2-turn clock.
True.
So this is interesting, although that looks like a Crackling Drake in Arthur's hand. The dream that never stops.
Opt.
Top.
That's just nasty.
Yep.
So
Crackling Drake makes his tokens off of the opt. In a competitive game setting, of course, we would have not done this, but he gets the tokens because we are here to see decks run out, not technical skill win.
The huge die is back.
Okay, so Kevin is attacking. Ben goes down to 7. That Drake is being a huge roadblock. Let's see. Ooh, second devil with the cat in the grave and food in play. That's a lot of pings.
2. But it keeps up with the improbable alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So a top decked oven would be pretty juicy, but a top decked oven...
Okay, so just an attack for 4. Doesn't want to mayhem devil and trade with the Drake when it blocks by bringing back the cat.
But Arthur has lethal in the air.
Right now?
Yes.
Then
Pepijn's
definitely why
at
did he not
7.
attack? Then there's definitely a question of why did he not attack with the devil? Because he needs to make... Oh no, Pepijn's at 10.
Yeah, sure. But I think this is...
There's not 6 instants or sorceries in the graveyard.
There's
so.
also 2 tokens.
Yeah, those get pinged off when you eat the food.
They die, yeah. Fair enough. So one more turn, and the attack back is for 10 at that point.
The attack back is for lethal, so... Arthur, the Improbable Alliance doesn't do it. What the hell?
I just poked myself with the thingy I was fondling.
Dumbass. Well, Arthur does have the opt, though.
Yeah.
Opt. Make 3 tokens.
Just don't move the life token.
He just realized, like, oh, wait, no, I shouldn't do that. Okay, so that's 5. So his attack now represents an attack for 9, I think. And he drew another Electromancer. So he's got no way of ensuring the kill through the sacking of the food. But Ben does have to get rid of 3 blockers for his attack. Oh.
We might as well... Oh, no.
No, you don't want to send them in. Because Pepijn sacks the food and gains the life. And can then ping off the other ones.
Correct.
So if Pepijn sees the line, he can sack his food. Go up to 10. Wait, it is... Wait, so this is a Fairy Vandal, this is a land, this is a negate, this is 1, 2, 3. So if he says 4, so that's 8. So Pen goes up to 10, 2, so he needs to ping off one of the attacking birds.
And hope there's no random instant in Arthur's hand.
Yes. But if he does that, then he has... See, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to gamble on Arthur not having a spell in hand.
Yeah, I guess. Was that Liliana? Because that's not going to do anything here. All attack.
We say take the risk, but even taking the risk barely does anything.
Yeah.
You're still not killing him with a lethal attack.
Yeah, it's a Liliana, so...
So Arthur choosing not to block here with the 2 other creatures.
He's
to
still
protect
thinking about it.
Liliana.
He's still thinking about it, I'm pretty sure. But Liliana doesn't do anything, because he only has 5 land and 1 card in hand. So Liliana is not something to be scared of.
Pepijn is on 2 right now.
Yep, and Pepijn is dead.
Pepijn is...
That's it.
has scooped them up, and that concludes the end of the Gentry Invitational.
Apparently, getting Kefrid on turn 4 helps tremendously.
That's that was a pretty straightforward match. I feel like Arthur got, except his match against Gobe, some pretty unfortunate opponents as well, and some really good draws there. So we'll just pretend like his match against Gobe was the final, and then turn the bracket around a little bit. It'll be fine.
Sure.
There's a lot of grumbling later,
and he has 15 minutes to get where he needed to be.
I mean.
Yep. And let it be clear, us us saying that Arthur had luck on his side does not in any way diminish his achievements.
No,
he played very well.
He played some phenomenal matches. He, like Kobe especially, was very impressed by how well Arthur played. And Arthur is a great Magic player. That's definitely not to be underestimated. Don't forget, he came in this event with zero preparation. Hasn't played Gentry since the final of the Gentry Open that ended up qualifying him for this. So very commendable.
Yep, exactly.
That's pretty awesome there. And that's also pretty much wraps it up for us. We're going to have a little interview. Let's have Arthur first because he needs to leave pretty soon. Usually we have the loser first and round off with the winner.
I'm sorry.
But that's okay. First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is the first time you win the finals of a Gentry event.
Yeah, that's... we could discuss about it, but technically yes.
So, spoiler already here. Like we said, Arthur was in the very first edition of the Gentry Open, back then called the League Standard Finale, against Jelle Geesling. They officially split the final, but I think you played it afterwards, and there's some discussion on who actually won that one.
There was some... strange ruling about that we would split if he would scoop, something like that. But then you pointed out to me, like, Arthur, you cannot agree on that. So then we didn't. We just cancelled the whole thing.
So
but it was a split.
So it was officially a split. We're going to replay that one for the history.
I'm looking forward to it. That will be fun.
Yeah, we'll find a way to get you and Jelle together for that one.
We're friends, so it will.
It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. So
even the best of 5.
Yes, let's make it infinitely long, so you get to play 3 games. Just kidding. So about your deck here, let's have a quick look over at your deck first. Yours is the one on the left, so let's get rid of this one, and get yours a bit bigger. How do you feel about your deck after this event? You made it pretty much last minute. It was something you're very familiar with, for sure, as it looks a lot like the deck that you played 4.5 years ago. That's how long it's been. How do you feel about the deck? Is there anything you would want to change, update,
there is
improve?
one big change I would do, and I think it's actually not playing Niv Mizzet. I've never been able to cast it. It was always in my hand. And at the end there is a lot of common good removal in the decks I face that just kills it. I will draw a card though, but white is banishing light, and the sacrifice deck has the, how's it called, 1 mana second creature or 5 mana
Spark
Harvest. Then Tom's deck had the 2 mana removal. So
everybody is ready for a random creature.
I think I doubted a lot about it because my deck only plays 22 lands. With all the cycling, it's possible to play 22, but that also means that Niv Mizzet is not that easy to cast. So I think I would have preferred to play Expansion Explosion.
Yeah.
Copies counters, and this is sometimes so important in my games. And if I have the mana with the Electromancers, it's a really good combo.
You can just go for
normally Electromancer in multiples it really sucks, but with that card at least you have something really cool to do with it. So
yeah. All right. How were your matches for you?
The
first one against Kobe.
The hardest one was against Kobe. I think everybody who watched all the games noticed that I won really close. Did a big misplay though in the second game. I should have not killed Sahili, which would have changed a lot.
Yeah.
But that was a really tough game. Really nice to play. It was so close. The Heartfire was a one-off. I was completely... It was my last chance. He got really lucky of hitting Liliana, which was his last chance. Yeah. But then I had this Heartfire. I had no creatures in hand, but I I looked at his life total, it was only 7. I thought, yeah, this could work if he cannot counter it, and he lets me attack twice with a 1/1. So I didn't make an extra 1/1 on purpose, so he wouldn't be interested in sacrificing 2 creatures with the Liliana. So yeah, that was a really tough game. The second game, yeah, Tom was very unlucky. He missed land drops, and I also think that if he doesn't hit too many Garys, it's quite a good matchup for me. That's my feeling. I haven't played the format too much, but I haven't played it yet actually since the Open. But it felt like that.
Yeah.
And the third match, I think the food deck, that's what everybody tells me to, is a really good deck, but. Yeah, I had the feeling that it's not a bad matchup for me either. Actually,
I agree, and from what we've seen here,
the second game, I thought the first game, I thought, okay, I might lose this, but in the end, I probably did some small misplays somewhere, either way. But it still worked out.
So what the metagame looked like up to a month and a half ago was Gates was dominating everything.
Yeah.
Gates Ablaze was just sweeping for 5-6 damage.
That's how I lost the final of the Open.
Yeah, exactly. And we've upgraded the rarity of Gates Ablaze and Guild Summit to rare.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since that, there's been this turmoil shifting of the meta game where everybody was like, oh, Elementals is now the best deck, but wait, food can beat Elementals. And now we've seen you demonstrate that there's maybe a rock, paper, scissors system going on here.
I think that's definitely the case. But we also have to mention that I had a lot of turn 4 Kefnet, which is a problematic card for any deck. There is not really an answer except for countering and maybe some strange cards.
Yeah, we saw
this card is bonkers on turn 4. Even if you don't against Tom, I was not hitting the ability, but it's just still a 4/5 flyer. He has to use a removal spell, and it just comes back 2 turns later. In my case, sometimes even faster because I draw a lot of cards. So
you have the opts and everything.
It might give a bit of a
skewed perception
about the deck. But anyway, it's my 2 favorite colors, and I think as long as Crackling Drake is a legal card,
or Enigma
this
Drake,
deck,
or
but especially the Crackling one is even way
so
more
much
powerful.
better.
With all the exile effects, they just don't matter, and it draws a card. So bouncing is also never really a bad thing. So this card is amazing, and as long as this card will be standard legal or Gentry legal, however you want it, it will be really really strong deck and card. In common slots.
A quick look at what the chat has to say. GG Arthur, good games all around. He has experience playing the same sort of deck for years.
That's definitely true.
So the trick to win in Gentry is being not prepared. There's actually history for unprepared players doing very well. Like Glenn winning the Gentry Open.
Exactly. Yeah,
it was his first Gentry event.
It's the same with me.
Did you consider Flame Sweep against Elementals? Whoops, you have one. Woohoo Arthur, thank you for watching. We had 70 viewers. Niels, is this a record? We broke the record of highest viewers on this stream for a Gentry event.
Congratulations for that. It was also really nice to watch it downstairs. The setting is really cool. You see you've advanced a lot with the quality of streaming.
I'm really tell. I'm enjoying myself with this. 73 records is the win today. How did you do, Emma? I fell asleep. Old man. Okay, it's not for you anymore, so I'm thanking you very much.
Thank you for inviting me, and we'll see you at the Open.
Perfect.
Goodbye.
April 11th. Okay, we have somebody else to talk to in the meantime. Yeah, perfect. Pepijn, get your butt in here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome, Pepijn.
Thank you.
How are you, besides the obvious part?
I'm fine. I had very close matches, I think. A lot of fun. I think it's just very hard for me to beat the deck. I don't know. I haven't tested the matchup enough, so I wasn't quite sure what to do sideboarding wise, etc.
I don't think many people would have had many experience testing this deck, as it's largely I almost want to say a forgotten deck. Like we even saw it in the competitive leaderboard, the first edition.
Yes.
We saw people championing blue-red spells, second draw decks. Yeah, it was half the players exactly. Half the top 8, the top 4 was blue-red Drakes.
The first one. Yeah.
And then it was gone.
And then nobody played it anymore. It's still a very good deck. If you find the right, Crackling deck is very strong, and Pop Line is very strong. Very good. They play very good cards, have very good synergy, a lot of filtering. It's still a very good deck. I just think the exact configuration of the 75 is sometimes difficult.
Yeah.
But you can tune it to the meta. So I think Arthur will bring the very well balanced deck. He had some.
He actually threw it together in
like a few minutes, I think. But he had the perfect idea of what he wanted to play.
Yeah.
And that shined very well through.
Yeah. Okay, but enough about blue-red Drakes. Let's have a look at what you were playing.
Yes, so I'm playing the Boogeyman, I think, on the format.
No, that's
correct.
Elemental.
I think Elemental is
Elemental
the Boogeyman, and this is the answer.
I'm just burning kittens.
This is the answer, turning into a Boogeyman of itself. Food, Junt food, Rakdos food. They're two very different decks.
Yes, one Rakdos is much more aggressive.
Yeah,
really tries to threaten the life total and try to kill you as soon as possible. This is much more of a grind-ish deck with Wheel of Crumbs. You can play the long game and just whittle them down like a few cats a turn, drain a few life. You have a small engine, finish fast, but not really. Yeah,
we see some personal changes, innovations here in the Footline Fiends, the Omens of the Dead that we haven't seen many people play, and the Status Statue.
Yes.
Now Status Statue is pretty much Blade Brand with upside.
Yes, indeed.
But let's talk about those 1 mana spells that you added.
So the Footline Fiend was personal because it's I first played the Skeleton, Sanitarium Skeleton. It's better in a long game, but most of the time it just lies in your graveyard. You don't often return it, so we wanted something that's a little bit more proactive, a little bit more interactive. Like you can attack with Footline Fiend very easy because they can't block it because you can ping off things. It's a bit stronger. And Omen of that is mostly because the most important creature is Mayhem Devil in your deck, and you just want to get it back from your graveyard.
Yeah.
You don't mind sacrificing it as much because Sparkcast and Heartfire, because you can get it back. You can sacrifice it, ping one, get it back, play it again, etc. So that's mostly why we wanted Omen of the Dead, just get more Mayhem Devils, or one of Corvault also, of course, of 1/2.
Getting the big boys back.
If I would change something, I would just, most of the time, I think the sideboard needs a little bit work, but I would change one Spark Causes for another Footline Fiend, because we have 6 sacrifice effects, and it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
You tend to feel like, oh no, I have to sack like my Devil or my Witch Stalker to actually cast a spell, which isn't very it's very mana intensive, creature intensive rather.
Yeah.
So that's one of the changes I'd make at this point.
Yeah. Okay. We saw you in the final play a Fierce Witch Stalker and then sack it to Spark Harvest away.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great.
Why not? You can also just pay for Spark Harvest.
Pay 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had 5 because you played the Fierce Witch Stalker and the Spark Harvest. We were very confused.
Didn't I need to keep out mana for my life total?
No. You tapped out.
You changed
the same thing.
Changed nothing.
You'll see it in the replays.
Oh, well, yeah.
We were very confused.
Yeah. Basically, cast a full cost Spark Harvest.
Oh yes,
makes you a food, but
yes.
discards your Fierce Witch Stalker.
Yes, okay. That didn't matter in the game anyway.
So we were thinking maybe we're missing something. Let's go back to our ugly faces. You could have been the first 2-time Invitational champion.
3 times in a row, I think. This is the 4th Invitational, sorry, I play, and this is the 3rd one I lost in the finals. So maybe one day I'll...
For 4.
What?
Your 4 finals for 4.
Yes. I played in 4 invitationals and 4 times I went. Yes.
Went to the finals. I think that makes you the highest performing invitational player at this point. So let's see. Is there anything the chat has to say? Blah, blah, blah. There's people are sad about you not playing Skeleton. Yeah. That's pretty much all the chat has to say.
I really like the card. I really wanted to play, but I couldn't justify it. I might be wrong. Maybe the mana shift.
and you had Boyan who played the list with the skeletons
Yeah.
on the leaderboard last week.
I don't think it's good enough. I maybe might play one just to
Yeah.
have the insurance. If it's in my graveyard, I have something to do. But most of the time, you have so much mana, you have something to do. If you have
Yeah.
trails, it only happens when you don't have trails. You don't have anything in your hand going on, and most of the time you're gonna lose those games anyway. So the skeleton most of the time doesn't matter. But it might be worth playing one or two.
Yeah.
I might experiment a bit with it. I'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll win a final next time.
Okay, Pepijn.
When they reprint stockpile.
Yeah. Oh, bring back. Oh.
So thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
very
being
much.
here. Congratulations on your 4th final in 4.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, that's going to
Thank
be
you very
all
much.
for us.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. So that wraps up the invitational for us. You can look out for the final article. It'll have the bracket nice with everybody's name. It will have all the deck lists. The deck list will be in the deck list tab on the website. There's tons of stuff coming on the website. The Gentry Open, as I've said 5 or 6 times now, is pretty much solidified for April 11th. And yes, we have a bunch of sponsors again. We have the confirmation from Channel Fireball, from Outpost, from Tournament Center, from Ultra Pro, and Card Market Series. All of them are sponsoring again, so we'll have a awesome goodie bag that will pretty much make it worth your while to come to the Gentry Open. So mark that down in your calendars. It's going to be an awesome event. It'll be streamed as well, so who knows, you might have a chance to have your face in these stream. I couldn't find of an awesome word there.
And I'm gonna go 0-2 drop and start casting as well. So
That's if Pepijn is the king of finals. No, that's not true.
Someone is the king of either winning an event or dropping after round 3 to come cast.
That's
That's basically the LSV of Gentry.
lol. All right.
One thing though, Slacker wants to be in the Invitational next time. I think his emote usage deserves that.
Slacker makes for a good case for sure. Just give me your good decks.
No. We'll make one of your bullshit ideas and I'll refine it for you.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Be good Vikings. Be happy Vikings. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself.